Welcome to another Age of Empires 4 casted game. We got in the color yellow, playing as the Malians, Minecraft programmer, also known as Beastyqt. And in the color blue, playing as the Delhi Sultan, El Sensei de El Hosp, also known as VortiX. Two of the best players in the world. Having a matchup, Delhi, a civilization that basically usually the players will want to contest this sacred site very early on, transition into Castle Age, and then, you know, overwhelm your opponent. Whereas Malians, you can really predict what they're gonna do so easily. They may go Kalboom, they may go trade. There's so many options for them. I expect VortiX trying to do some aggression to deny this passive goal that the Malians have, but let's see how things turn out. So it's been a while since I made some casted games. Like, the reason is I was in Japan, so I was traveling there, and surprisingly for me, Japan was quite different from China, which is the place I live in, which is great. It's great because it's two different things, two different cities, two different people. I was expecting, you know, Asian countries pretty much similar to each other. In reality, the reality couldn't be different. So let's see what these players will come up to. I will put how many villagers they have for each player, because sometimes it's a good idea just to check the build orders, like how many villagers on food, how many villagers on gold. In Age of Empires, it's really important to allocate your resources really well. You know, how many on food you have, how many on gold, how many on stone. All these things really matter a lot if you want to support your strategy. Like, for example, you may want to create some archers, then you may need more people on wood, and if you don't have them, then it's gonna be really hard. We see the first landmark going up for VortiX. It's gonna be the Tower of Victory. So basically 20% attack speed to infantry produced within the radius of influence of this landmark. Pretty much the landmark that everyone chooses. It's rarely you see another landmark for Delhi, just because, you know, they want to contest a sacred site and they want to have this extra edge of infantry attack speed so they can defend well. Meanwhile, for the Malians, you got the Mansa Quarry, typical landmark. They just give you passive gold per minute, and you can change it to stone. I don't know if players really change it to stone. I don't know if that's a thing. But I think about it, like, if you see the animation here, like, people are like, first time I see this, like, there's some people here working like time-lapse animation. I find it pretty neat, pretty nice details. I don't know if it's all these things happened when the game came out, but a lot of things have changed. Not only in gameplay style, but also visually. It keeps getting better and better. New age up going up for Beasty. And for some wood now, to be able to have some production buildings. Let's see if he decides to be the aggressor here, or play more of a defensive style until you get to Castle Age. VortiX already going to the feudal age, also going the first military building here, going for stables, going for those nice gassy riders. See what BC will create. So far, nothing yet. Nothing yet. It's just focusing on more gold, more passive income here. Nice place for the gold, I will say. Two gold veins that are pretty close to each other, easier to defend. Like, for example, if you go to this one, it will be very hard to defend. It's far from your base, but this one's quite close, I would say. So we see the barracks going out for BC. immediate response to the Gassy Raiders. And we see the first Gassy Raider joining the scene. Remember, these guys have maces, and they're really good against heavy, armor units. Pretty much every kind of unit you have. Pretty good horseman, in my opinion. I'm just gonna try to raise something, but he won't have any luck. Wondering if Beastyqt will go for veterancy for their scouts, for the warrior scouts. So far, no signs yet. And we see the Donsos joining the party. Should be able to deal with this by itself. That villager didn't make it home, sadly. We see the archer range going up for Beastyqt. More harassment. Going out for VortiX. You got the 4 Raiders. The 5th is about to come. More Donsos joining the party. Should be able to scare this army with this. Remember, the Donsos have advantage over these units. They have extra attack to cavalry ships. But there you go. Immediate response for VortiX. Doesn't want to get any damage. Doing very good micro here. Beastyqt went for a second archery range. Wonder if he will go for javelin throwers or archers. There you go. Yeah, javelin throwers. Slightly better unit than the archers. Well, I wouldn't say slightly. They're quite good actually. They cost gold. They throw from distance and they do more damage. So now archers should be able to wield this Donsos, but remember, compared to the spearman, Donsos have 1 armor, so well that's against melee, not against range. So are quite a little bit more tanky than the average spearman. VortiX capturing the sacred sites. Nice micro here, healing the Gassy Raiders. Meanwhile, continue the aggression here. Beastyqt focusing all his efforts on defending this pit mine. And now the number of Donsos is getting higher, so something to VortiX should be concerned. Second barracks going out for Beastyqt. We're going for a cavalry composition against infantry composition, so you should be pretty okay defending this area. Let's see how things turn out. Meanwhile, Beastyqt went for the Calbone here. Plenty of space to put his landmark. Remember the cattle ranch, they give food per minute, and for each cattle they give extra food, so you want to have a bunch of those, and then you have a nice passive income here. Beastyqt decides not to engage with that army yet. You don't want to lose your army. That's one of the things that you learn from Age of Empires, and also you learn from books like The Art of War, where they tell you do not fight, do not engage in fights you cannot win. And this is what we see very often in the high level players of Age of Empires. They don't fight, and they don't engage in fights they know they can win. It's not just like a brainless game with just smash buttons, like I don't care if I lose my army, I will kill some of yours. You need to methodically think about how you should, when you should engage, when you should retreat, and knowing what your opponent has, it's a big component of whether you're gonna win a fight or not. His scouts been a little bit annoying. No veterancy for the scouts yet. Looks like he won't go for the warrior scouts route. Interesting choice. Like I said, the Malians have very different ways of playing. I believe it's because the Gassy Riders will deal with them quite easily. Now you got to do this critical mass where you can just one-shot units Donsos being able to deal with the gassy raiders. Javelin throwers dealing with the archers. So far, Beastyqt has been able to deal with this, but the numbers are increasing for both players, so let's see how things will turn out. Sacred Site, victory approaching, 8 minutes to go. Normally I wouldn't expect a Sacred Site victory from the Delhi. They just want the passive gold, you know. Beastyqt gonna decapture the site here. Should be able to only have one unit to defend this, but now he needs to retreat here. Like the gold mine, it's under pressure. Sacred Site is not gonna be, not gonna be the capture. Now the gold mine looks like it's gonna go down, and indeed it goes down here. Now less passive income for Beastyqt. Let's put the numbers here just so you can see how much gold, how much resources per income we have each player. VortiX a little bit ahead on the wood economy and food economy. And now VortiX going for the Castle Age. It's gonna be the compound of the defender. Basically, the units will be able to build stone walls, towers, or reduce the stone cost of buildings and their replacement by 20%. So that's usually the lammer that people go. It's not mostly, I don't think it's usually because infantry can build walls, stone walls, although that's nice. But the keeps will be cheaper, and with the keeps you should be able to ask to produce more villagers and boom. Like outscale your opponent by producing keeps instead of town centers. You go, Gassy Raiders should be able to deal with this out, but the Donsos will deal with this army. Should be able to be careful here. VortiX going to Castle Age. Pretty even infantry numbers for both players. Pretty equal army value. 3.6k. Sacred Sites trying to be the capture here. Now it comes to the point where you really need to think about those Sacred Sites. You don't want to wait until the last minutes, otherwise the victory condition for VortiX will change. Engagement here. Meanwhile, walls going up. You want to go to the next age without being harassed. So walls are a good way to delay your opponent's attack, so you can just, you know, boom in peace. Monk not gonna be able to capture this relic. That's a really tanky monk. I didn't know that. I didn't know they were so tanky. I think it's gonna go down anyway. This Dancer, super brave. Managed to take one, managed to take two. Oh my god, almost managed to take three. What a hero. I don't remember the name of this dude. Now we got Musafati warriors joining the scene. If you don't know, this is like the very strong unit, but doesn't have much armor. Very strong unit. Now we see knights joining the field. 8 knights are ready for VortiX. That's a considerable amount of knights. You should be concerned. Meanwhile, for Beastyqt, no signs of aging up yet. And if he age up now, VortiX army will be able to get into his base, which looks like it's gonna happen soon. Villager not gonna be able to finish walling in this area. VortiX now already in the base. Meanwhile, Beastyqt with a counter attack here. We see VortiX engaging to beat Beastyqt's army, but the archers should be able to deal with the Donsos. Without the Donsos, you're gonna have troubles dealing with those knights here. And we have problems here. Meanwhile, counterattack going for BC here. Looks like he won't have any luck to find any villager yet. And the HAP goes for BC. It's too late to HAP. GG gets called. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe for more Age of Empires 4 content.